Connect me please in Dublin. And I guess the other 10 people that'll watch this. It's Refuge of Crows, day 10. Sorry I sort of slipped on keeping up, but I'm trying to figure out this video editing software for future projects. It's not really intuitive, and it's 300-page manual, so as you can imagine, that's a bit time consuming. Alright, so everybody can see it was not a good day for the crows. Only 8 victims, one of those, well, 9 if you include the guy from Paris. 8 terrorized. They don't really care about being terrorized because they're never leaving town again anyways, to hear them tell it. We did lose Doc 90 and Our Bullet. Those were both really good players. Crazy Fool wasn't bad at all. The others never really heard much from them. I don't know, maybe they were good players, maybe they weren't, but never really noticed much from them in the Gazette or in the forums. Alright, so let's go on. Here's the map. And you can see these are our remaining players. There's several I'm glad to see alive still, that's for sure. You see, me and Dublin decided at the last minute to make a run for the small house. We loaded for bear, bunch of chains, the jerry can pump, and killed every Zed here. Of course, they pop right back up, but I was pushing her in the shopping trolley while she screamed and giggled, and we killed Zeds like Clint Eastwood and a Sunday matinee. It was fun as all get up. But we're going to try to camp here again tonight. I haven't done anything yet today. Odd work hours, so I'm thinking about pushing a little bit south just to see what's going on. Come back up and go back to ground for the night. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, let's never, never, never. Come on, people. You never left town. Yeah, I know my pet peeve. Bank, there was a lot more in the bank just an hour or two ago. People have been raiding it like crazy. Yesterday, one of our better players, good little gal, let's see her play, but she was crying about everybody raiding all the DOs and please put them back in the bank. And then when she realized that it really was the end of days, she went and grabbed what she could too. So it's kind of funny. Just, you know, there's going to be selfish play at the end of the game. Whether you're just going for Zen Camper or you're going for last man standing, it's going to happen. And even if everybody's pretty much equal, you're just going to be completely overwhelmed. It's funny anyway. You know you're going to be completely overwhelmed. You might as well load up. There was, let's see, there was 2 cyanides. There's only one of those now. That's interesting. Yesterday I threw a whole bunch of stuff in my house just for people to steal. Just, you know, rotten logs and pine fresh and stuff. So they can have fun with that today. A few distinctions for them. Because I won't be back to town while the gates are still up. I can tell you that much for free. Let's move on here. You can see this is what we built. Nothing impressive at all, really. Explains why on day 10 people are fighting for last man standing, I guess. Divining rocket, that was interesting, but not that great. Butcher, we freaking need animals to throw into the butcher, really. Factory, of course, that was always nice. Building registry, there's 2 jarpin tables. Search tower, there's 3 jarpin tables. That's actually pretty good. I mean, this town had real potential with all the soul points. So kind of double thinking the idea of having played more of the journalist. If this town had one good leader just to tell these people, do this, do that. Not in a mayorly way, but just say, hey, you know, this is what we need to do. We all all need to be on the same page, because we are constantly having 7 or 8 well, that's an exaggeration, 4 or 5 projects in the middle of being built at the end of the day, and that's just not a workable system for a town. So yeah, nothing too impressive, that's for sure. Always nice to have architects study, of course, and we got that pretty early. We got the search tower at a pretty early phase. Foundations, they got the scarecrow and fortifications up in a right quick hurry once they realized we were in real trouble. That's kind of amusing. Alright, so we'll move on here real quick. You can see the buildings way out here somewhere, isn't it? Where is it? There you go. There's a nuclear bunker way out there. I don't think anybody's going to be camping that. Other than that, no explorable building. It's been like 3 towns since I've seen an explorable building. I'm going to join in with a town full of scouts just so somebody can point me to one, I think. But, alright, that's a pretty quick summary. Other than that, there's been a little bit of drama in the threads. You know, this is the usual stuff. Yeah, let's just don't want to. That's the person complaining about people taking DOs and then doing it themselves while others laugh at them. That's Dublin yelling at me to make sure I know to come back to the house. Other than that, gatekeeper, they actually closed the gates last night. That was pretty good. Shacks. Yeah, at first people were kind of ticked about that, but now they're throwing up whatever the heck they can. So, kitchen. We were building kitchens and pharmacy or labs till the very last minute. Might have been a waste because the spike was a really big one. So, but oh well, you don't know till it happens. And yeah, you can see boop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we are. Isn't that just a crying shame? Just laying on the ground there. Nobody cares. And you can see, yep, I'm loaded up to camp. Loaded up to kill Zeds and maybe make it back to town once the gates are busted, because nobody's opened them in the meantime. Yeah. That's kind of funny too. But oops, I didn't just do something. I was gonna say, I was hoping I didn't just misclick on a freaking vidcast. It'll happen one day. Alright, so that's pretty much a quick summary. Oh yeah, of course you can see. Hungover. Yeah, I had to drink a bit of booze yesterday to upgrade the site as far as I could. So, alright, me and Deb are going to go to ground here. And from the looks of it, everybody else is going to stay in town. One nice little story, Connect Me was down here, right about there. Here, yeah, that's where it was. Calling for help yesterday. I was getting ready to go fetch him when the estimate finally got completed and everybody realized we were boned. So that's when plans changed, and me and Deb headed out here, and I sent him a message in the forums telling him it'd be better off to either go to ground or just come home and watch the Zeds attack everybody. He actually managed to survive and managed to make it back to town. I don't know, I'm assuming he's wounded, but wow, with all these, I don't, he might have made it back without being wounded, but I'm assuming he's wounded, but at least, hey, you know, it's more soul points. He can die in bed and shake hands with the Z. Alright, everybody in town, good luck. Everybody that's watching this, yeah, no, they weren't that great. Just me winging it and playing around. I'll try to do something serious once, if I end up in a theme town or something like that. Just me learning. So, alright everybody. Try not to take too many walks with the Zeds. Have a good life while you got it.